I want you to take a minute and remind yourself who the fuck you are. You're an achiever. You're a visionary. You burn the rule book and you've made your own rules. You are a powerful creator. You're worthy of an overflowing bank account. You deserve more money than you know what to do with. You're also worthy of hot sex and a life that feels like a vacation. You're a fun, bad bitch, and you're capable of having anything you want as quickly as you choose to have it, because you are a topless manifester. Welcome, I'm Cassie McKenzie, and I'm a business coach for light workers, coaches and healers who are here to flip this world fucking upside down. This podcast is for visionaries like you who love to shove your crystals in your bra and laugh your way to the bank. You're not about to let Mercury retrograde see what's possible or let a full moon take credit for your manifestations, because you have a vision for changing the world, not just inside you, but all around you. And if you're ready to see more clients, money, and freedom manifest into your business and your life at the snap of your finger, then you are in the right place. Let's go topless. Today, I have the fortune to interview a very amazing guest. Danielle Hobson is an intuitive business coach, and we had a great conversation about how to build a super aligned business through energetics and mindset and strategy work. And a lot of what we talked about are things that you need to be doing and thinking about doing going into the new year. December is the time to start planning for the new year. You can't wait till January and expect to have these results where you blow it out of the water. And I know right now, especially with Christmas and with the holidays, now is really a time where we start to slow down and take some time. And this is so perfect for you to start wrapping your head around, what are you available for in 2023? What are the strategies that you want to take? What are the things that you want to accomplish? And really back off of doing a lot of things right now and spend a lot more time being and planning and sinking in energetically of where do you want to be living in 2023. So I think you're going to love this interview today. Also, the Sales Queen Academy is enrolling. This is my 8-week live course to teach you how to become a sales queen in your life and business. We're going to be doing everything from selling live on Instagram lives and on live streams and masterclasses to teaching you exactly how to sell on your Instagram stories so that your offers sell out and that you have people jumping in all the time. If you feel like sales is something that is really scary to you, then I want you to definitely jump into this course, because you are going to love sales after I'm done with you. When you walk out of this course, you are going to absolutely love selling. You're going to love making sales, talking about your offers, showing up confidently, and it's going to change your life. So if this is a vibe that you want to be in 2023, then check out DM me on Instagram. You can DM me SQA or DM me sales. Ask me about Sales Queen Academy. And also, I will put a link in the show notes of this episode. But go ahead and start planning now for 2023. I hope you enjoy this episode with Danielle, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye. I love doing these IG lives to start to collaborate and partner with people from other parts of the world, right? Like, it's so amazing to, because a lot of times we end up in our bubble, or it can feel very lonely. You know, like sometimes I'll get like the best ideas and I'll run and be like, talking to my husband. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And he's just like, awesome. You know, and he's got it, like, he's in sales. I'm like, look, you get, right? Like, you get it. And he's like, I don't know, like what the deal is, but that sounds great, you know? So when we partner like this, and I mean, it's amazing social media to be able to talk to somebody all the way over in the UK, you know? And so that's great. And so for those of you guys who don't know me, I'm Cassie McKenzie. I'm a business coach for coaches and healers. I'm an intuitive business coach too. So I like to open up the abundance channels and streams of income and really make that like alignment, but more like just make things feel easy so they don't feel like work all the time. You know, like my business felt like work for the longest time. It felt heavy, felt like, what do I have to do today? And as much as I tried to reframe that into, what do I get to do today? It was like, well, shit, I still don't know the answer to that question, you know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, but like once you start to really anchor into your truth and like follow your intuition in your business, and the answers were there all along, you know, like the answers were always there. Personally for me, I just was ignoring them. They just looked too easy,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So now, for those of you guys who don't know Danielle here, so Danielle is an intuitive business coach. I'm going to let you all know, specializing in helping women create a balance between their intuition and business strategy. So, and so, yeah, so it's very similar to what I do, like helping to build the super aligned businesses via energetics and mindset and strategy, which I'm like, oh my God, this is so right up my freaking alley and my wheelhouse, all the things, because you know, I would love to talk to you about how did you get started doing this? You know, like what is your story, and who do you like really, really enjoy working with now?
Okay, so for me, I've been coaching and mentoring for coming up a decade now, so for quite a long time, and I've done it in two different businesses. One being as part of a company, and the other one obviously in my own right. And I've always loved seeing people progress, helping people really, step into their true potential,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes just allowing them or helping them identify their true potential before they
Yeah.
even go on and take action, and I loved that within the business that I was in before. So I was like, I need to do more of this. I need to expand. I need to do this within my own right, without no restrictions of a company. Because my first 5 years in business was network marketing. So very much a part of the multi-level marketing field. And obviously I helped people. I built a substantial team of women in that field, and I loved it. However, I felt restricted. I felt like I weren't able to be my true full potential self. So I branched out on my own in 2019. I was like, right, this is it. I'm doing this on my own right. It took me don't get me wrong, it took me probably about a year to 18 months to really find my self and where I belonged in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And same
Yeah.
with, like when you say like, who are you helping now? Like, who do you love working with? It is definitely more people like me. Like it's mainly coaches and service providers with that spiritual edge. So those that have got that, like the open-mindedness to manifestation, the law of attraction, intuition, inner guides, higher powers, all of that, the divine, and open-minded to or already on their spiritual journey. And I've had a couple of spiritual awakenings over the last 10 years of entrepreneurship myself. So seeing that within other people is just phenomenal, because and you'll see it yourself when you get to that point where they're just opening their mind to it. They've had a spiritual awakening. They're seeing actually what is possible when they co-create their life with, that they it's like when the penny drops, and they see when the penny drops and they see that they don't have to hustle. They don't have to sit in that I should build my business this way because everybody before me has hustled and worked hard, and everybody I know in business has done 80-hour 100-hour week.
Mm-hmm.
Open their mind to oh, I've lost you. Are you back? Yeah, then open their mind to co-creation, and actually things being a hell of a lot easier than they thought it ever had to be. That to me is like, I absolutely I live for that moment, the moment that they go, oh, that is it. Like, I can co-create my life. I can, I do believe and I do have faith, and I can work on the law of attraction, and I can look within and see that everything that I need is within me. I just have to lean into it and run with it.
Yeah, like how we've been overcomplicating things for so long, for sure.
Yeah.
But then there's also the other way the pendulum swings, no pun intended, at 11:11 here, where, people then are like, oh, well, I created 10K with my journaling questions, so I'm just going to keep journaling my way to success, right? Because that's all I need. Like, I had a coach, which she was great for teaching me, like, helping me remember as much about like energy and cleaning up, like, and like using energy healing in my business.
and stuff like that. But also like some of these also had like a point of view of everything's 99% energy. So like I never really remembered to add the strategy piece with a very well thought out strategy, which is crazy for somebody like me because I came from a very long 20-year a 20-year career in pharmaceutical sales where I followed metrics. I had sales calls, I had sales goals, I had like everything was very like regimented. Like I had my manager come ride with me once a month and he was looking for certain things for me to do and certain messaging and things. So like my big awakening part in business was remembering that I was really great at that job because I did all of those strategic things. And then when you marry that with watching your energy and like, do I actually like what you know what I mean? Like, it's funny because then you start to add, you're like, what, you know, you notice when you're like, well, I need to put this into this program because it makes sense to do that. When really it's the thing that you really don't even want. You like, maybe it's a second add-on. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm a massive believer in you can't have one without the other. So like you won't see me sat in the corner meditating and just hoping that all of my results will fall in my lap, because that's not going to happen. Like I 100% believe that you've got to couple the inner work with the action as well, and the practical physical stuff that we do. But I mean, even down to when we talk about strategies, like when you mention the word strategy as a business coach to people that are growing a business, they immediately think straight to sales strategy, marketing strategy, practical strategies. And actually doing the inner work is a strategy. Like that is a strategy for it. So like, coupling your inner work strategy, your spiritual strategy, your energy strategy with the actual marketing strategy, the sales strategy, your social media strategy, all of those strategies, all of the juicy physical stuff that we do and practical stuff that we do, they work hand in hand. Like no way am I saying to anybody that you have to hustle and do all of those, I suppose, hard, and this, to be fair, like I'm a big believer in business is easy. If you are if you're listening to yourself and you're choosing the things that align with you, and you are choosing the workload that works right for you, because if you are truly doing what you love to do, you don't feel like you're working anyway, so it's not hard. Like you get up every morning and you want to do the things that that you plan to do. You want to get involved in the strategy that you've planned to execute within your business, because you've chosen it. It's what matches your energy. It's what you love to do. It's aligned with you. Nothing ever feels it shouldn't feel hard or complicated, or you should feel no resistance to it, because you've chosen to do it. It aligns with you. And that goes for the other side.
And you don't have to see the results right away
in
order to desire to keep going, because it builds that
you love it.
This is gonna work. This is gonna work because I'm finally excited about it.
And you really love it. And it's the same with the other side of the coin, the spiritual stuff. EFT tapping, any sort of energetic work, like all of that sort of stuff. Am I back?
You're back.
Like all of that sort of stuff as well. Like some people, like I don't take very well. I do meditate, but very few and far between. And when I really feel into it and I feel like I want to, I cannot be that spiritual person that meditates every day. I can't. It doesn't match my lifestyle. It doesn't match my energy. I can't switch off that often. I have to still be on the go. Like other spiritual things, like moving practices and moving spiritual stuff, like going for a walk and taking the dog for a walk, moving meditations are more likely my thing than sitting in a corner in a quiet room, humming. That's not, and that's nothing to say that works. So sometimes it works for me. Sometimes I can do that, but sometimes I can't, and that's okay as well. Like you'll have I'm not very good at written journaling either. I like to talk. Give me somebody to soundboard off, and I will.
Out so fast that I'm like, I can't write this down right now. Like there's too much coming out.
I have to talk it. Totally.
Totally.
It's all different. We're all different, and that just goes to show, like, we see, especially the online space is such an amazing space to build a business and, to get everything that we've got for free in most cases. Like it's a free platform. The free platform to hit a load of people. Like, look, other sides of the world from each other, other sides of the world from each other.
It's free.
I know, and being able to have this conversation is insane. But there's also that element of it that we get sucked into. Oh my God, she's a business coach. So me and you, lots of similarities in what we do, but I guarantee you there'll be lots of differences too. We're both successful in our own right. We both earn a killing when it comes to, our finances. We both have amazing clients. We both do amazing things. But I guarantee we'll have shitloads of differences as well, and that's okay. So there's no one book, or one shoe fits all. There's lots of different ways to build a business. And as soon as you realize, again, when the penny drops for people, that they can build a business their way and still be super successful, it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah. But you can break the rules because you get to make the rules. Like I was just doing a live stream, and I have a training coming up on Monday around manifesting 10K months, because I know a lot of, there's like, what is it? The stat, it's like 70% of coaches online make less than $50,000 or like over half. And then 70% don't last 3 years.
Yes.
And a lot of it's because we're not taught from the start, like how to really build a business in alignment, right? And then how to do it in a smart way without having to overload yourself with private clients, right? And so, and so like I'm doing this training on Monday, and a lot of what I just talked about in my group for like about 30 minutes is what I'm gonna, bring into the discussion. But like a lot of people are willing to do the hard things, right? People think that like it's, oh my God, we gotta get out of the employee mindset, We're like, well,
conditioning. It's conditioning.
Yeah. And so like, so often we're not willing to do, like when business gets hard or when it starts to feel hard, we make it mean that it's not for us instead of making it mean that, well, maybe there's a better way, or what am I not looking at right now? Or how can I, and that's when I co-create, because I'm like, God and angels, help me see this a different way. Like, what is the thing I need to be seeing? Like, what do I need to be saying? Like, tell me, show me the way, right? And then the answer comes like the next day. But like, a lot of times we stop the momentum when it starts to get hard because we're not willing to do the hard things in our boardroom, right? Like if you were a CEO, that would literally be your job, is to figure out, fix the problems on like a big major level so that everything falls into place on a daily basis and other people take care of all the little things. But guess what? You're the one that takes care of all the little things when you're an online CEO.
Yeah, exactly. And we find it's the conditioning that we grow up with. And entrepreneurship is not taught in schools. Unfortunately, it's not over here anyway in the UK. So we miss out on all of that education. So we're grown up and we're conditioned to be a part of an institution, which is like the employed mindset, the employed industry, the corporate world, that where you somebody else has designed for you. We're not taught to explore what feels good to us. We're not taught to explore what's in alignment with us and the way that we want to do things. We're put in a box and we're told to be in that box and do things in that box. And when you then branch out into entrepreneurship, it's really hard to break that code. It's really hard to break that habit of being in that box and doing things the way that you think you should be doing things. And that's the hard work. That, if anything, if I had to say that anything was hard in business, it is the inner work. It's the work where we're having to reframe our mindset. We're having to reprogram everything that we've ever learned in the 16, 18 years that we go to school and are in education and are with our parents who have older beliefs than ourselves. It's really hard to break that code. So people don't, and like that stat is right, like under 3, they don't last like more than 3 years because they think within 3 years they need to be at a certain level. And actually it's taken 3 years to just break down that barrier of the old conditioning. So don't be hard on yourself. If you're sat here watching this and you know, you've been in business a year, 2 years, even 3 years, sometimes 4 years, and you've not made it big time, that's okay. You're obviously working through things. Like, give yourself 10 years. Give yourself 10 years. Go through the motions. Go through everything. And I'm not saying you can't make it quicker than that. Of course you can. There's loads of people out there. But don't quit. Been in here 3 years and it's not,
my kids, they sound,
you're not where you want it to be.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, because I think a lot of times what we get caught up in is that highlight reel, you know, and so how can, like, when you're building your business your way, you might start following people who do things a certain way and think, well, I need to do everything the way that they do. But I'll tell you, in my corporate sales career, it was like, I was very lucky because when I started out, I had a manager who sat me down and said, there's 10 people on our team, Cassie, and everybody sells a different way and everybody's successful, hey, Vivi, in their own way. So what I want you to do is I want you to go work with everybody on the team, and I want you to watch them, and I want you to watch how they sell. And I want you to take what looks good, what you like of what they do, because some things you're going to like and other things you're not. I want you to take what you like and go do that in your business. And it's like, holy shit, 20 years ago, I got the best advice that I should have taken into my business from the
most amazing advice from somebody in an employee environment as well. That's really good advice.
Well, he was my district manager, so we looked at it and he said, look at your business like you have your own $5 million or $10 million business. If I handed you $10 million and said, go run this company, I want you to run your territory the same way. I was 21 years old. Like, I made a post about it last week. I had braces and a bad haircut. I looked like a total dork, and I was selling to people 3 decades older than me. But in 2 years, I was the top rep. I went to President's Club. I had $20 million in sales. So, like, and it was all because I followed the best practices of the best people, because there's a lot of shit
that you could adapt. And applied it to my business. And like, if we can do that in our business here, that's literally you making your own rules. Like, and it doesn't have to be some boring corporate way, you know, like it can be jeans Friday every day in your business. Duh, like sweatpants Friday, like every day. 100%. It's your business.
Yeah. So it's like freeing, but a lot of times I feel like from a mindset perspective, there's a lot of parts that tell you this can't be this good, right? Like it can't be this good. It's gotta be harder, you know?
And those are the moments where you have to, it's normally the moments where you give yourself a shitload more work to do because you think I need to work harder because this is too easy. Like this is far too easy. And you give yourself so much more work to do and then you end up burning out. So it's just remembering, I think it's just remembering those moments that it does get to be easy if you are building a business that is what you enjoy doing, you love, it's aligned, you're creating, you know, experiences within your business every single day that you love, that you can repeat, that you know, really get behind. And you'll just never, if you love what you do and you're building a line business, you'll never work another day in your life. It'll not feel like work or hard.
Absolutely. So how do you recommend, like, where would you have people start to like for applying energetics to their business? Like, can you give a couple of things, like starting points that you really work on that people are like, oh my God, I never thought about that before?
Say that again. I lost you. So what would you recommend? Then I missed the rest.
Okay. So I know that you help people with like energetics and applying energetics to the strategy. So if somebody's new to the energetic side, first of all, how do you explain that to them? You know what I mean? Like, how do you explain what the energetics actually is to people who might be more just previously strategy, you know, driven, and they're new to this whole side of this corner of the internet, right?
Okay. So it normally comes out from a mindset point of view first. So because that's easy for them to adapt. It's easy for them to take on board and understand, because everybody's heard of a bit of mindset, you know, like they get that mindset side of things. So it normally comes out like that. And normally within the self-limiting belief like corner. So we start delving into the self-limiting beliefs and how, you know, the way that they're programmed, the way that, you know, things that have happened in the past. It normally starts with that. And then I suppose I don't really sit and explain what energetics is to somebody. Like it's really hard to sit and explain in a nutshell what it is, but by showing them that these are practices that really work. And I suppose so the amount of explaining would go as far as everything being energy. Obviously we're built up of energy. People can get behind that. It's science, it's proven, you know, like we are energy. If you put us under a microscope, and we're more space than we are matter. So, you know, everything makes sense then when you start talking about that. And then I do a lot of emotional freedom techniques, or, you know, EFT tapping and moving energy. And once you start explaining and using analogies for certain other parts of our life, and putting them into business and energetics. So just for example, the way that we wake up in the morning, and I'll point these out to people. So like, right, okay, let's take you back to a moment where you got up this morning, you weren't feeling great, there's no motivation, you know, you're feeling pretty down on yourself. You're aware that the self-limiting beliefs that you've got are X, Y, and Z. However, how do we change that in the moment to be able to be practical and do something and be productive and do something moving forward? Otherwise, we would just sit in our ball of feeling like shit until it just passed. And that's not the way that we build a business. So we have to really tap into our energy and our energy sources. So how do we move that energy? How do we change the energy from being stagnant and blocked and stuck within our meridian points, you know, our meridian lines within our body? So obviously I might explain that to them, and if we go down the EFT road, but even just as simple as changing the way that your energy, the way that you feel, how do we do that? And we can do that very easily once it's explained to you, like just flick a switch. So and I sometimes use, it's quite a brutal question, but I'll say to somebody, right, okay, take yourself back to the last saddest thing that you've ever gone through. And sometimes they'll take themselves back to maybe a divorce, or you know, losing a loved one, or, you know, a loved one's funeral or whatever, like, and it's very upsetting. So straight away their whole energy changes, their whole vibe changes, their face is sometimes tears, and it's quite a torturous exercise. But I'm like, right, okay, now take yourself back to the last happiest day that you had, the day you got married, the day that your daughter was born, the day that your son was born, you know, the day you met your partner, the last amazing date that you went on, anything like that, you know, the day that you brought your puppy home, something that, and immediately, like flicking a switch, their energy changes, they feel good. And sometimes it's just doing little exercises like that, and if they get it, it's very simple, like techniques. And I'll go, right, what's your favorite song? They might say, mine's Whitney Houston, Dance with Somebody. So that is mine. Like whenever I'm feeling in a funk, I would be like, Alexa, oh, she's going to start off in a minute. I would say, Alexa, like play, you know, Whitney Houston. She's in the background, and she'll play, and as soon as the beat drops, I am like I'm dancing. And I do this on my coaching calls, like I'll be like, right, get up, move, let's move it. So sometimes, you know, just educating them on how certain things that they do, certain practices that they can bring into their lives, even just certain things that they do on a, you know, naturally anyway, going for walks, taking the dog, dancing, but things that they wouldn't think to do in the moment that they're feeling funky, because it's the last thing you want to do. You don't feel like getting up and dancing when you know, a 5 mile hike, when you feel like, or even just a 20-minute walk, when you're feeling like crap, you want to get in the dressing gown, be under the blanket, watching a Netflix series, right? So it's about educating them into putting these things, these practices into their life at the moments that they need them the most, and understanding how their energy changes. And when their energy changes, their productivity changes.
Yeah, totally. Well, and even like in situations where this is applicable to your business, or during a launch, when you go to sell something new, when you're not used to doing live streams, and you're like, your coaches said, you gotta probably go do some, people need to see your face. Like you can't hide behind funny memes from Spiritual League all day, you know, like you got to get your face out there. And so like, but that, all of these things can bring up like fears and all kinds of like wacky things and emotional things that make you like take a step back and freeze, you know? So that's really, really great. Yeah. For people to know,
just
you know,
little rituals. It's just little rituals that you like, you can put into your day. So like, you know, things like you know, like the dancing or setting yourself up right every day. You don't have to do like I don't have a morning ritual. Like, again, it's not something, you'll never see me in the 5 a.m. club. I'm not, you know, I'm not
more of
somebody
like
that will
the 2
force myself
a.m.
to be at a
club.
time. I love my sleep feels.
Yeah. Well, I've always been the night owl, you know, so like after my kids go to bed and my husband's like, I'm just going to go watch, you know, this or documentary. I'm like, put that on and I'll put my trainings on or put my music on. And I'll be up till like, I can easily stay up till like 1:30. And, you know, because it's quiet and there's nobody interrupting me and I can just take my time. But then I'm like, holy shit, I better go to bed because these wild monkeys are going to be awake. You know, like I have to really reel myself in, you know.
See,
and then I get all tired and motivated and it's 1 in the morning and then I can't go to sleep. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm the opposite. Like, I need sleep. Like, I don't function very well if I don't have like 8 hours sleep. I'm like, there's no, you're not getting anything out of me that day. Like, it's literally like I am then in rest mode for the rest of the day if I haven't slept properly. My brain doesn't work properly, and I don't, you know, I just don't like not having my sleep. So I'm the opposite. So I am at my best when the kids are at school, my husband's at work. I'm in my office between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. really. Like, this is out of hours for me. Like, this is like 4:30 because this is like I'm into the night now. Like, I should be in my dressing gown already, had a bath, you know, like the tea on, you know, the dinner on, and sat watching telly by now. But you know, I honestly feel like it's just about finding your rhythm. Understand, the more you understand yourself, the more you know what your strengths and your weaknesses are, the more you can adapt your life, your business, the way that the methods that you use, the strategies that you use. Like, I remember sitting and hearing before I started really building my business, the way that I wanted to build my business, people, you know, on the internet saying that doesn't fit with my lifestyle. That doesn't fit with my lifestyle. And I was like, you've got to be disciplined and you've got to do this because that's what you've got to do. But I actually, like, it's so true. Like, you really don't, if it doesn't fit with your lifestyle, you will build resistance towards it. If you don't enjoy doing what you're doing, and this goes for any single activity, business activity, spiritual activity or practice, anything, if you do not enjoy it, if you don't get excited to actually execute that activity, that step in your business, that strategy, that spiritual practice, if you don't get excited to do those things, you will procrastinate till the cows come home. Totally. You will not do it. And if you don't take action in your business, you haven't got a business. You're not making money.
Yeah, exactly. That's total. I know my husband keeps trying to get me to do like Wim Hof breathing because he's like all about it.
I've tried it. It's good. It's all right.
Well, I can't get into, like, I've tried and I'm like, I was doing this other thing's better for me. And he's like, but you got to do it. I'm like, do I?
No, it's not something that I would do every day, but I was like, oh, well, I'll try it. It's like anything, with anything, being the coaches that we are, and find help our clients find their rhythm and their way of running and building a business and scaling a business. But it's really good for us to have all of this knowledge in the practices and, you know, the strategies, and it's good for us to have these because we've got a library. We're like Mary Poppins' bag. Like, we can, like, this may suit you. Totally. This may suit you. Have a look. Doesn't work for me. However, this may work for you because we've identified that your lifestyle is this, or your strength is this, and your weaknesses are that. So maybe like this will work for you so much better than it would have ever worked for me. But it's something that I know about. Have a go at it. And I love that. I love that fact that we have a Mary Poppins bag to be able to just share with them, just because we're not doing it. And actually, we don't want to create lemons, do we? We don't want to create minions and people that are just doing what we do. Absolutely not. We want to help them to
absolutely.
create find their own path.
Well, like I agree 100%, because like for the first couple years of my business, I started doing, it was like those, I saw people selling $222 offers or these little micro offers, and I tried doing that with like a you know, like a not very warm audience, and I was making like $1,000 a month, and I could be the best coach out there, but like broke still, and not because I sucked, but because the business model, having something new every month to launch that my business had to depend on, just wasn't the vibe. And so when I discovered,
exactly,
you know, the concept of having like an ongoing group program that you just constantly keep enrolling people into, that's ongoing, it's just like it opened up this whole new thing that was like, oh my God, now that I can get behind, because that helps my lifestyle. Like having pre-recorded content, my, you know, people go to, and then have me show up to do coaching every week felt easy, because I'm like, oh my God, it's no different than showing up for a live stream, except people are actually asking me questions, and this is fun, you know? And so I really, like, you know, definitely enjoy that instead, because the people don't know that, because they'll go and see other people doing something. But though, like, some of those coaches might have 0 kids, and they think getting their new little puppy is the hardest thing in the world. And, you know, like when you've got a lot of people not just relying on you in your own household, but waking you up at night, and then like the reason I can't sleep at night isn't because I don't know what to do in my business. It's because I usually get kicked in the head or elbowed in the nose or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and so I really think it's so big to make sure that your lifestyle fits the business model that you choose, because you're just going to resist it all day long if not.
100%. 100%.
So, okay, well, what is, to wrap us up, tell, like, what is the one, is there anything else you want to tell our audience, like any major things, like to really help them, like especially now? Okay, I have a question, a very pinpointed. A lot of people, and this is really great timing, a lot of people look at, well, it's November 23rd. The year's over. I'm just going, you know, my business didn't nearly do what I wanted it to do this whole year. So I'm just going to wait till January and pick it back up then. What do you have to say to those people right now?
Probably nothing legal. Probably nothing. Right, so this is a pet hate of mine anyway. I mean, don't get me wrong. If that's what you want to do, go with it. Go with it. If you really feel like you cannot pick yourself up and do anything until the new year, and you're happy with those results that you're going to bring in, then who am I to tell you any different? However, I have a challenge starting on Monday. It's called the New Year, New Level Challenge. Now, it's November the 28th. It's not a new year. It's not a new year. However, I do it then because I don't like the culture of waiting till the new year. And to be honest, if I am brutally honest, January for me is not a vibe. It's not like, I am knackered. At the end of the Christmas holidays, the last thing I want to do is like start hustling in my business and start, you know, trying to get things back off the ground again after Christmas, because what normally happens is the lead up time with everything is nothing happens in my business and nothing starts moving in my business until end of February and March time. So springtime. Totally. Yeah. Absolutely. So I always think like you need to start now.
Yeah. 100%. I totally
what you would
agree.
normally feel in January, bring it forward and start now. Start planning out, start actually taking action on your business, knowing as well, can you imagine breaking off for Christmas? And most of us self-employed people will take some time off over Christmas or change our focus. So it'll go from sales to maybe some inner work or some education or something like that. But can you imagine taking that time off on the 20-something of December, taking a couple of weeks or a week or so where you're just then really knowing that you have set yourself up so well over the last 4 to 5 weeks, really ready for January to start, you know then that the lead up time is kind of coming to an end. You know that like by the time you go into January, you're hitting the ground running, because no matter where your energy is, you've set the systems in place, you've put the strategies and structures already in there, you've warmed your audience up, you've got something prepared, everything is prepped, you're ready to go. And that's why I do my challenge. So it starts next week, and it's just in a free Facebook group. But if you go onto my Instagram, you'll be able to see the New Year, New Level challenge and sign up. It's completely free, 3 days of information, and over £500 worth of prizes to give away. I love to give away now, something that will help you build your business even more. But it's about breaking down the barriers of the blocks that we have around this time of year, going into the new year. It's about the next level. Every new year, I think we cross a new level in our business as entrepreneurs. In fact, probably a couple of times a year we do this anyway, but definitely around the end of the year, beginning the new year. And I think that it's really getting you ready. Again, down to the preparation. So not just the practical preparation of getting your systems and structures ready for January to results, but it's about getting you mentally ready, getting you energetically ready for that next level, the level 2023, right? We're going into level 2023 now. Why wait till level 2023 starts? Why not start now and get your vibe high, get your systems ready, get your structures and strategies ready, and prepared, and everything warmed up and ready to go in when we go back to work on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th of January next year.
Yeah, exactly. No, I totally agree. Like every single time you take a break, it takes so long to get that momentum going, especially if you take a break without setting up the exact actions and things that you're going to do once you get back. Like when I remember in my sales career, I always looked at January January's a wash. We always have our sales meeting towards the end. Like they don't really expect us to do anything till February. I'd forget more that I knew about my product than, it was like, what am I supposed to, who am I supposed to call on again? Where are they? It was just like getting the cruise ship turned back around. So that is some great advice, like taking the action. Sorry, I've got my nose, it's like itchy, but I have this argan oil from my hair. I don't want to get it on TMI. Okay, so great advice. Thank you so much, Danielle. This has been so power packed. I love it. So guys, go follow Danielle if you aren't already, and go join her challenge to take the action. Just take any action. Get yourself all set up right now for January, because if you think about you arriving in January and knowing exactly all the steps that you need to take. And that's why I'm starting my 7-figure light worker program in December too. Like, to be honest with you, because this is like all of the steps, all of the strategy, all of the plans, like the 21-day launch plan. Like, imagine starting January knowing, I've got my offer, here's my launch plan, here's what I'm doing from the start of January on. Otherwise, like if you're waiting till January to devise this, you're looking at February, March at best.
So springtime. And this is what I say all the time, because can you imagine, like, we come back after Christmas, we've had the most amazing time, we've eaten too much, we've drank too much, we've visited too many family members, we've drove too many hours, like we've done all of the things. We've entertained the kids for 2 weeks plus, and we're energetically drained. Like, we are drained energetically. So if you had none of the other systems, structures, strategies, preparation done for your business to continue or to really support you,
you're fucked.
on top of feeling like crap,
you're
anyway.
totally
It's just it's not feasible. It's not feasible. Like, do the preparation first. Allow yourself to take those 2 weeks where you know for a fact, like, you haven't got to come back after the new year and get yourself straight back into the hustle or the entrepreneur mindset. It's all prepped, it's all ready, you just have have to work on is just getting yourself back into the flow, building your energy back up, surround yourself with with your business again, surround yourself with the people that make you feel inspired and creative, That's all you have to think about.
Fresh
That's all you
start.
have to think about. Because everything
Yeah.
else is prepared and ready. So I hope to see you next week.
I love it. Yes. Oh my God, I love it. So thank you so much for joining me. And for those of you guys who want to get started, I do want to mention my Black Friday deals just dropped for the 7-figure light worker. And these are just the opportunity for you to have an extended payment plan to get started. So you have 9 months, or get a bonus. I can't believe I'm offering these bonuses, because like, that's why I'm doing like 2 per one. But I was like, ooh, this would be fun to do. But like, one option is you can either add the extended payment plan, you could add a VIP day as a bonus, or you can add a extra Voxer coaching, 2 months of Voxer coaching with me Monday through Thursday. And but there's only 2 spots for the Voxer coaching and only 2 for the VIP day. So hop on it quickly if you're feeling called to get a part of this 6-month program, the 7-figure Lightworker Accelerator, and start to make sales in your DMs and start to get seen and paid on social media. I love it. So thank you, Danielle. I'm so excited. So get into your slippers. Thanks for meeting me late today.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, I appreciate it. I hope you have a beautiful evening, and it's so amazing meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. I'm going to go eat my face off.